All right, y'all. I'm going to be talking about parental alienation. I'm going to be talking about my experience, what I went through, with this narcissistic family member alienating my son against me. Okay, I'm not going to be before you guys long, and I don't want to make this story too long. So I'm gonna try to make this story as quick as possible, guys. Um, Okay, it starts like this. Okay, when I was a child, me and this narcissistic family member, one of my siblings, was real close. We was like two peas in a pot, and this person will always take me shopping. I would spend a night over this person's house. They would buy me toys and clothes and stuff and everything, and just basically just spend time with me and stuff like that. And so by this person's, spending a lot of time with me and buying me stuff like that, I was crazy about this person, and everything. I was truly, crazy, and I looked up to this person and stuff like that. But I realized that this person never gave a doggone about me. They never loved me. They never cared about me whatsoever. This person, this sibling, narcissistic sibling, their love was only predicated on the admiration and attention that I was giving to them. The only thing they care about me, as long as I was loving them, looking up to them, admiring them, and giving them attention and stuff, everything was all good. And so, as I started getting older, as a child, you start transitioning into adulthood. You start separating from your parents and stuff like that. That's a natural thing that happens. You know, um, every child that has been placed on this earth is going to go into transition from a child into adulthood. But narcissistic people, they don't understand that concept. They don't understand it. They think it's a direct threat, against them. They look at it as a direct challenge, against them when you dare to have your own mind. Because, see, the thing is, they want to keep you dependent upon them. And so, when I was 18 years old, I became pregnant at 18, almost 19 years old. My father, he put me out the house when I became pregnant. Minding you that he had put three of my brothers out the house previously before me. And this is just something that he does. Every time one of us graduate or get close to graduating out of high school, he'll start like a couple of months ahead of time. And this man, he would just start nitpicking with you, just have you walking on eggshells. I mean, everything that that you do, he would nitpick. He would this man would make your life a living hell. And really what he was doing, he was setting you up to get ready to put you up out of the house. So he did three of my brothers like that. They had to go. And so he was using my pregnancy, as an excuse to put me out. And so my mom got tired. She got tired of this. She got tired of seeing her kids getting put out the street. Every time we graduate from high school, he put us out on the street. And one of the things was the reason why he put that, because he never cared anything about us anyway. He would just know that, hey, I know I got kids, so I got to take care of them, stuff like that. He was never there for us emotionally, anything like that. And so basically, he just wanted my mom to himself. So that's why he wanted to throw us out in the street, nowhere to go at 18 years old. And so, and another thing I believe that he was jealous of, he was in direct competition with us because, see, my father, he never graduated from high school. He only had a 7th and 8th grade education. And so I believe that's another reason, why he wanted us out of the house, because he was also jealous too. And so my mom, she didn't stand for it. So when he put me out the house, my mom said, well, if my daughter has to go, then I'm leaving right along with her. So me and my mom, we went to go live with this narcissistic family member, I'm thinking that, okay, I can finally breathe now. But little did I know that I was jumping from the frying pan to the skillet. And so this narcissistic family member that I live with, this narcissistic person was just as abusive and toxic, as my father was. So I'm reliving all the abuse that I had experienced with my narcissistic father with this narcissistic person. And so, it didn't happen right away. This person wasn't abusive, emotional abusive right at the beginning. But as time went on, I noticed a change in this person. This person started giving me the silent treatment. You know how it is with narcissistic people. Whenever they disapprove, anything that you do, they would give you the silent treatment. They would just shut down on you. They would just stop talking to you. And they swear, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing going on. But you feel the tension in the air. You feel the tension between you and this other person. So that's what I'm feeling in the house. I'm feeling all this tension and stuff. In the house, this person just completely shut down, stopped talking to me, and and stuff like that. Just very nasty and cruel, and stuff to me. And I haven't even done anything to this person. There was no fallout in the house or anything prior to that. And so I'm hearing, behind closed doors, that this person that I'm living with, this narcissistic sibling that I'm living with, is talking about me like a dog behind my back. My mom would come back and tell me what this person was saying about me. And not only that, I had another narcissistic sibling, came back. Because this person also liked to gossip and messy too. So this person loved to tell you what somebody else is saying about you. So this other person was telling me what the narcissistic sibling that I was living with, that person was talking about me also. And so I'm hearing all this stuff that this person, evil things that this person is saying about me while I'm living with them. But yet they not coming to me or anything what they saying, because, but they going to other people, and I'm hearing about it, what this person is saying about me. And so I'm wondering, what's going on, why this person just totally just switched on me. This person totally turned like the devil, and stuff. And I just didn't understand, what did I do to deserve, all this mistreatment, this abuse and stuff that was going on. And so the abuse and stuff had got so bad and stuff that I started lashing out at this narcissistic sibling that I was living with. I started lashing out, and yes, I cursed this person out, because I got tired at this point, because it's just like you keep kicking a dog. If you keep kicking a dog, pretty soon that dog gonna bite your behind. And so that's how it was with me. I had enough of this person just lashing out at me, just talking crazy to me, just basically using me as an emotional punching bag. And so after I had moved out of the house, me and my son, I had got my own apartment. And so I'm still dealing with the trauma of the fallout of this narcissistic family member that I used to live with. I'm still dealing with the abuse from that. And then my mother had passed a year earlier prior to that. So I'm dealing with the grief of losing my mom, and I'm still dealing with the trauma, and everything that my father has put me through. And so when I got on my own, I had started abusing drugs, and stuff like that. My life had, went downhill, because I'm trying to process all this trauma and grief and stuff that I was dealing with. And so I got on, I started abusing drugs and stuff for like a year and a half. I wasn't on it like no 2, 3, 4, 5 years like that, but I was on it for a year and a half, and it was enough for my life, to take a turn for the worse. And so during that year and a half and stuff, I was abusing drugs really heavy to the point that my son had to go live with the narcissistic sibling that I used to live with. Me and my mom used to live with. So even though this person treated me like trash, they treated my son really good. So I thought that was the best thing, for my son to go live with this person. And so even though I was getting my life, on track, I was clean and sober, I was still going to get my son and he would come stay with me and stuff like that. I was still part of his life and everything. And so my son would come over and he would tell me, what my narcissistic sibling was saying about me behind my back. And this went on for many years. Many years my son was coming back telling me everything about this narcissistic sibling was saying behind my back and stuff like that. But I chose not to address it. I just chose to ignore it. But minding you that this narcissistic sibling is a so-called Christian. This person is so-called saved, been in the church for 20 years and sitting up here, being used by the devil, against me, and stuff like that. And so let me see what else I was about to say. This narcissistic sibling has put a wedge between me and my son, because I noticed the more this person was, as years went past, the more this person was just dogging me out, talking about me, to my own son. And not only it was one narcissistic sibling person, it was several, narcissistic siblings that was talking about me, to my own son. And so, kids don't know any better. They like sponges, so they absorb everything. So anybody that's authority, in their life, authority figure, they're going to believe whatever that person is saying. So by these people ganging up against me, talking about me like a dog to my son, paint me as a bad picture, it's going to cause your kids, my son, to start looking at me like I'm looking at me sideways. And I noticed that he started distancing himself away from me. It's like he really didn't want to come around me no more. I noticed he started being a little critical of me too, because of what they were saying and stuff about me and everything like that. And so, like I said, this narcissistic sibling has put a wedge between me and my son, to the point that me and my son, this is the longest that we ever went without talking to each other. It's been 3 years since I talked to him, because one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sit up here and beg, because he's 29 years old. He's old enough to know better and stuff like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and beg and plead and beg anybody to be in my life. I'm not going to plead and beg anybody, to see the truth about me, because I know in the end of the day, what's done in the dark will come to the light. And God, he already told me to just sit back. He said, if I hold my peace and let the Lord fight my battle, victory shall be mine. I know in due time that God will vindicate me. The only thing I can do is just pray that the witchcraft veil that this narcissistic sibling, has put over my son's eyes, that it would be removed. And due time, that witchcraft power over my son will be broken in the name of Jesus, and stuff. Every slander, every gossip, every mind control that this person has put over my son, it will be broken in due time in Jesus' name. And so I know without a shadow of doubt that this narcissistic family member is operating under the spirit of rejection. They operate out of the spirit of control and manipulation. And this is also the Jezebel spirit. This is how this spirit operate. They love to alienate your kids and weaponize your kids against you. But I'm here to tell you guys, victory is mine. If I hold my peace, the Lord will fight my battle. So guys, that's all I want to tell you. I want you to like, subscribe, and comment to my channel.